Hello, my wonderful friends. How are we? My name is Sarzana. If you haven't been here before, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So I'm a little late with this, but I want to tell you guys about all the books that I read in the month of April. It's May now. So I read quite a few books. I think I read like 8, 9 books. And I'm pretty proud of myself because I had finals and stuff going on last month and work was super hectic. So I'm really surprised and very happy with all the books that I read in April. And I was in such a weird mood in April and I read like so many different genres. So I'm going to go in the order that I read them from beginning to end so you guys can ride the wave with me, okay? So we're just gonna jump right into it. So the first book that I read in April was Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair, excuse me. And I devoured this book in legit maybe a day. I had such a fun time with this. This book is about Hades and Persephone. So Persephone is the goddess of spring and the MMC is Hades and he is the god of the underworld. And it's like a retelling, I guess, what we've come to know about Hades and Persephone's history. And basically, Persephone wants to be a journalist. She lives in New Athens, and so does Hades. Persephone wants to be a journalist and she wants to tell the truth. She and her girlfriend are at this nightclub where she comes across Hades. He's the god of the dead, as we know. He owns this nightclub and she comes into a game with him and I can't remember what they were playing. I think they were playing like poker or something and she loses. Basically, she has a contract with him now and she has to create life in the underworld, and if she does not by a specific time frame, then she loses her freedom and she has to stay in the underworld. Romance ensues and they fall in love and things happen. I suck at giving summaries and trying to tell people what a book is about, if I like it or dislike it, without spoiling things. So that's what I'm just gonna leave it as. But I really liked the way that this world was set. I liked how they modernized this, but also we had our classical Hades and Persephone's characteristics. I thought it was really well done. I had such a good time with it. And I gave it 5 stars because I ate it up in one day and I am still thinking about this book and I cannot wait to continue reading the rest of this series. It was so much fun. And the next book that I read in April, I did not think that I would like at all. I was so scared to even read this because I felt like it was going to bring up all these triggers for me in my past, and it did. However, it also left me intrigued. Like, I want to know what happens next. It's such a toxic mess, but I want to know. Like, it's like a reality TV show or something. Like, I need to know what happens next. And the next book that I read in April, my friends, is Magnolia Parks. Yes, I started my journey and I really didn't think I was gonna like this. I really didn't think I was gonna like this, but I did, and it was so good. I ate this up in like a few days. There's no other words for it. Like, I ate this up. This is about Magnolia Parks and BJ, and think of them as Blair and Chuck from Gossip Girl. That's literally who these two are. They love each other so much, but they're so freaking toxic, and it's like a repeat cycle of insanity and some BS crap that you just want to like scream at this book while you're reading it, and you want to throw it, but then you want to pick it up because you want to know what happens next. And I really hope she ends up with someone that makes her happy. The way this book ended, I should have seen it coming. It was such a cliche ending, but at the same time, you want to know what happens next. And for some of you that didn't enjoy it, it's totally fair. I see why so many people dislike it, but I also see why so many people love it, and I can't wait to read the next book in this series. I gave this a 4 star because I hated some of the decisions that Magnolia made, some of the decisions that BJ made, and it pissed me off, like their decision making and the miscommunication. Well, I guess there wasn't really much of a miscommunication, more so lack of responsibility. I don't know, just insane. It was so fun, and the terminologies for like some of the things that they wore and the lifestyle was super fun. I loved Gossip Girl when I was younger, and this literally gave me Gossip Girl, and I can't wait to see what else happens in this book. So again, 4 stars. Try it out if you haven't. I highly recommend it. And then the next book that I read is called Jack and Anna, The Price of Fear by R.S. Penny. And it was like a sci-fi mystery kind of book, and the idea of it was very interesting. However, when I started reading the book, I was so lost. It felt like I started in the middle of a series, and I felt like it was going in the past and then coming to the present. And I hate books that are shifting timelines. I hate it, and I did not enjoy it at all. I DNF'd it. I think I was like 100 pages in or something like that, and I DNF'd it. And I'm really sad that I DNF'd it, because I'm trying to get into sci-fi books a little bit more, because I liked Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary, and it was really interesting, but at the same time it wasn't as action-packed as I usually like. This book just didn't serve the way I wanted it to, and I'm very disappointed, and I'm really sad that I had to DNF it. But there's more books in this world, and I'm not usually the type of person that DNFs a book. I really try hard to read through it, but like I kept picking it up, getting bored, and picking something else up, and I did this so many times. So I was just like, you know what, I gotta DNF this. I don't like it. I'm not enjoying it. Why am I suffering through this? The author's team actually did send me this book, and I am really sorry. I feel so bad that I couldn't read this book. But if you like sci-fi and you want to give this a try, I recommend you giving it a try. It is kind of action-packed. They're like hunting aliens and stuff. So it's a pretty cool plot, but it just wasn't for me. Maybe I just wasn't in the right headspace, and maybe I will pick it up another time. It is sitting on my Kindle, so we'll see how that goes. It does bother me in the back of my mind. I'm just kind of like, what if you really enjoy it if you keep reading it? But like, I don't want to have to like read a book halfway or more than halfway for me to enjoy it. So there's that. Yeah. On to the next. And then the next book I read was a dark romance. I was in such a dark romance mood, and I feel like I still am. So I purchased and read Satan's Affair by H.G. Carlton. She's a very short read, but it's like super like small, as you guys can see. But I read Satan's Affair. Could I have read it on my Kindle? Yes, because it's on KU. Just letting you guys know. But I wanted the physical copy because I have all of H.G. Carlton's books as a physical copy, so I got one, and I enjoyed it. It filled in a lot of the blanks for Sibby's POV. A lot of the things about Sibby that I was kind of like, what is wrong with you, girl, throughout all of Cat and Mouse, it was answered in this book. Her story is so sad, so heart-wrenching, and some of the things that's happened to her, it's sad because stuff like this actually happens, and it is so real. And that's what I love about H.G. Carlton. She writes some very real things that happen in our world that a lot of people don't like to talk about. She writes it in a way that makes it addicting for her readers. You're like me, like I sit there and I ponder, and I'm just like, how do I live such a cushiony life? How do I live such a blessed life when there's people that go through shit like this? And it just really humbles me, and maybe some of you that have read some of H.G. Carlton's books. But this was perfect, and I can't really say much else because I don't want to spoil you guys for the cat and mouse duet. I know this was supposed to be read prior to the cat and mouse duet, but I didn't. I read the cat and mouse duet first and then I read this. So oopsie. I do think that we should be reading this before the cat and mouse duet, but you know, for those of you who haven't read this yet and you did read the cat and mouse duet, please read it because it will make a lot of things make sense. And I really hope that we get more books in Sibby's point of view because I want to know what else happens to her. I didn't like how it ended in cat and mouse duet for her POV, like how she left. I need to know more. And I really hope H.G. Carlton gives us more of Sibby. Oh, and I give this 3 stars because she just left us hanging and I wanted to know more. And again, like I said, maybe it will get better as we get more of Sibby's story in H.G. Carlton's future books. But for right now, it was really good. There was a lot of questions that were not answered and that's why I gave it a 3 stars. Alright, my friends, and keeping it in the dark romance, I read Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue, and this was such an This was such an interesting read. I annotated the hell out of it. I don't typically annotate books, and I recently got into it, and I am like obsessed with how much fun it is to annotate books. But on the low, like I'm like really sad because I like wrote in my book and stuff and it's like kind of making me cringe. Like it makes me want to go out and buy another copy that doesn't have anything written in it. But I won't do that because I personalized this and I can look back if I reread this and be like, oh hey, look, I enjoyed this, or hey, I hated that. Let me tell you guys what this book is about. So it's about Leon and Ray. Leon is a demon, Ray is human, and Ray is a YouTuber. She loves supernatural and spooky things. She records herself finding ghostly things, and she tries to record things, stuff that's like real, where so other people that have these channels, they create fake scenarios to post in their YouTube channels, and Ray has been kind of struggling to keep up with them. So Ray is on the hunt to find the next best thing. She's in college and she meets this really beautiful but really masculine, I guess, and attractive demon, but she doesn't know that he's a demon because he's in like a humanoid form, and apparently there's all kinds of demons in this world. She like finds him immediately attractive. I don't really enjoy that in books. I want some more angst. I want some more back and forth. I want some, I guess, enemies to lovers, right? I guess so. Anyway, so she meets Leon and she thinks he's attractive. He's hot, but he's also very sweet, but he's also very dangerous. Things happen and Ray ends up being basically hunted by these magicians, or like this culty kind of group who has magic, and this group is hunting Ray down because they want to sacrifice her for something, and she asks Leon for help. Leon accepted to help her out only if she gives him her soul, and she is like, no, I'm not giving you my soul. And then things happen and I can't tell you the rest because I'm gonna spoil you, so I'm gonna stop right there. But it was really dark and eerie and creepy. I liked the different storyline. I liked how there was like humanoid demons. That was pretty cool. I liked the aspect of magic. I want to see how the rest of this plays out because there's 2 more books after this book in this series that I'm really interested in reading. I gave this a 3.5 stars. Some things that I didn't like about it was the fact that Ray was portrayed as this weak female who was scared of everything, even though she liked spooky and supernatural things. I just felt like she was portrayed as a little weak and like a big scaredy cat kind of. You would think that someone that is so into supernatural things would be so freaked out when she discovered that it was actually happening in real life. That kind of turned me off a little bit from this book. However, I did like how she became stronger throughout the end of this book, and it did kind of remedy her character for me. But it was still a 3.5 star because I was very frustrated throughout most of the book because of just the way she was acting. Leon gets most of the stars because he's perfect. I love Leon, and I hope I get to see more of him in the next few books. And I needed a palate cleanser after that, so I started reading Flawless by Elsie Silver. This was so cute, so romantic. It gave me all the warm fuzzy vibes, all the butterflies, kicking my feet up, giggling, all of that. This was so freaking cute. And okay, let me tell you what it's about. It's about Rhett. He's a bull rider, like a professional bull rider, and Summer, she's a PR lawyer. She works as a PR person, lawyer, or whatever at her father's company. Rhett gets into some trouble. Basically, Summer gets assigned to be his babysitter, and she has to like follow him around, make sure he's on his best behavior so he doesn't lose his sponsors, so he can stay famous, keep doing his thing, keep making money, and all that jazz. They are basically enemies from the beginning of this book. But then, well, no, he hates her from the beginning. But she's like Summer. She's all sweet and strong and beautiful, and he's this rugged male. I loved the way their relationship blossomed. I loved the respect that they both shown each other. I love the way that Elsie Silver showed Rhett's family. I loved his relationship with his brothers. I really enjoyed everything about this book. Like, I have nothing bad to say about it, which is why I got a 5 star. If you're looking for a fun read, if you're looking for something that will just make you giggly and happy, like, please read this. I don't know why I waited so long to read this. I've been hearing about how amazing the Chestnut Springs series is, like, for over a year, and I'm so happy I picked this up. I'm so sad I don't have the special edition. I don't really like this cover as much as I like the special edition, but I can't find it anywhere, so I'm stuck with this. But so fun. I loved it. It was so amazing. 5 stars. I can't wait to read the next book in this series. Oh my god, how many books did I say that about? I like started so many series last month, and I'm already in the middle of so many. Oh no. I just realized that. Oh no, oh no, oh no, and I'm not done yet, you guys, because the next book I read was Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco. She is one of my favorite authors, and the way she writes is absolute perfection. Can't say anything wrong to me about Kerri Maniscalco. This is a YA. It's like a thriller mystery. No spice, absolutely no spice in this, and it was a good old time. It was a very quick read. It was very enjoyable. So this was set in the 1800s. This book is about Audrey Rose. She is a 17-year-old girl, and she wants to be a forensic scientist. She wants to be able to do autopsies and solve murders and study human bodies and stuff like that. For a female to want to do something like this in the 1800s is phenomenal, and she's all about girl power. Like, just because I wear skirts doesn't mean that I can't do X, Y, and Z. Like, you go, girl. This is about her researching the Jack the Ripper murder. She's trying to figure out who Jack the Ripper is, why he's killing. The way he kills is disgusting, but like also in like a art form. Like, he positions the body a specific way, he cuts out specific things, and she is just trying to figure out why he's doing what he's doing, just trying to catch him so she can solve this murder. And we also have Thomas Cresswell. He is her classmate, but he also becomes her friend and a love interest. I really liked the idea of Thomas and Audrey getting together. We see a little bit of it blooming here and there, but we don't really get anything, really. And I can't wait to read the next book in this series so I can figure out what else happens. I gave this a 5 star because it was just phenomenal, and that's all I have to say about it. And keeping it in YA, the next book that I read in April, well, the last book I read in April is 14 Ways to Die by Vincent Ralph. I've never read a book by Vincent Ralph before, but I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It like had me like at the edge of my seat. This is a thriller. It's about a girl named Jess. She enters a YouTube live show kind of thing where she has cameras following her everywhere she goes on specific days, I believe. She is trying to solve her mother's murder. Her mom was murdered by someone, a serial killer named by the Magpie Killer. He's a serial killer. He has killed like 14 women and her mom was like the first victim. Jess was 7 years old when this happened, and the grief in their house is suffocating. It is so heart-wrenching. It is so sad to see how her dad is still so deeply hurt from what happened to her mom. And Jess just wants to solve this murder. She wants to get him off the streets. She wants to catch him. And she wants these murders to stop. And even though this is YA, if you're a thriller girly, if you like any Frida McFadden books, for example, you will really like this book. Each chapter is super short. It's like a page or two long. I want to see if I can find any more Vincent Ralph books, maybe some adult books. I don't know. But I really enjoyed this. I had a really good time with it. And this is not a series, so I can't say that I can't wait to read the next book in this series. But I gave this 4-star. Some of it was a little underwhelming. Like, some things were like, why did you do that when you could have done this? I can't put my finger on it. It's just that. Like, some of it was just a little underwhelming, so I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. However, it's still a solid 4 stars. It was really good. I ate this up. And that concludes all of the books that I read in April, right? Yes, all of the books that I read in April. I read 1, 2. So I read 7 physical books and 1 on my Kindle that I DNF'd. I had such a fun time reading all the books that I did in April. I had read all these different genres and I just had so much fun. I hope you guys had a very fun reading month in April. Let me know what you read. Let me know if you've read any of these books, and if you did, what did you think about them? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you will not miss any videos I post in the future. And I hope you guys have a very good day. Bye.